Okay, welcome to the Port Huron statement. Today, we're talking about learned helplessness and enforced dependency is what I'm going to call this. Actually, we came up with a title is Breaking the Invisible Chains, How Learned to Helplessness, Breaking the Invisible Chains, How Learned Helplessness and Enforced Dependency Control Communities. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is, we're talking about how essentially social control entities, whatever, maybe an organization or a governmental institution or agency or religious entity, utilize a series of different social control mechanisms. And the one that we're going to talk about right now is called learned helplessness, which is a term that was coined by Martin Seligman in experiments with dogs, where they would be restrained and then electrocuted. And once that had become a routine, they found that if they took the restraints off, they would still endure the electrocution, even though they could just walk away or whatnot. And they have found that the same basic mechanism will apply to most mammals, generally, including humans. But instead of electric shocks, in a social control paradigm, the the enforced conditioning pain, or whatever we're going to call it, is much more sophisticated. It's usually trauma-based rather than, electric shocks, but certainly violence is manipulated in the same way. Let's say you've this is the business prison model. We're going to let's say you've dreamed of opening a small business, a supportive community group. Maybe a church, maybe a business association offers to help. They provide initial funding, connect you with suppliers, send customers your way, and it feels like a dream come true. But there's a pattern here that becomes clear over time. They never quite give you enough capital to become truly independent. The terms of their support are predatory. You're always month away from needing help again, and when you do need help, it comes with conditions, usually in addition to financial. Your customer base usually isn't yours. It's captive and controlled by the people that are supporting you. And if you don't support their agenda, you step out of line, suddenly those customers are liable to disappear. Maybe they're told to shop elsewhere. Maybe they're encouraged to shoplift from you. Maybe rumors start spreading about your business, or about you in particular. And then the suppliers are connected with. They're often part of the same network. Want to switch to better materials or lower prices? Well, that would be seen as disloyal to the people who helped get you started. So there are all types of guardrails that assure that only a specific type of success is allowed. And when you try to advertise independently, or try to reach out to other individuals to improve the business and generate success for yourself, you're steered toward their preferred print shop, their preferred marketing consultant. The materials look unprofessional, the strategies don't work, but you don't know if it's incompetence or sabotage, and it is both. Over time, you stop trying to escape. You've learned to be helpless. Every attempt to gain independence has been frustrated, so you stop attempting. You accept that your business success depends entirely on staying in their good graces. And so you have learned to be helpless. And there's no way to succeed then, because you have no agency over your own venture. So part 2, the psychology of control. This isn't accidental. These systems are designed by people who understand psychology very well, whether they do or those that are coaching them. They know that the most effective prison is one where the prisoner holds the key but doesn't realize it. The intermittent reinforcement trap. Slot machines are addictive because they use intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes you do win. Sometimes you lose, but you never know which one it will be. The same principle applies to control systems. Sometimes your business does do really well. Sometimes the community support feels genuine and loving. Sometimes you feel like you're part of something important. These positive experiences are real, but they're heavily exploitive. They're carefully timed to keep you hoping that things will get better if you just stay loyal a little longer. But They won't. These are exploitive paradigms. And for this type of situation to even emerge guarantees that you will never be allowed to get out of it. The isolation factor. Healthy businesses have diverse customer bases, multiple suppliers, various marketing channels. But in an enforced dependency system, you're gradually isolated from outside options. Why would you want to advertise to strangers when we have such a loyal community right here? Oh, the strangers are going to steal from you. Usually the shoplifting is orchestrated from within the control paradigm. Those outside suppliers don't understand our values the way we do, or they make it moral about supporting the internal community. Be careful who you trust out there. Not everyone has your best interests at heart like we do, and other forms of projection claiming that other people are doing exactly what they do. Before you know it, your entire economic ecosystem revolves around one group. Leaving feels impossible because you lose everything. Everything is interdependent on the control group. Part 3 is institutional capture. The same model scales up to entire communities. When one organization systematically places people in key positions across multiple institutions, they create what intelligence analysts call institutional capture. The HR strategy. Want to control an organization? Control who gets hired. Get your people into human resources departments first. Then they can screen out applicants who might ask uncomfortable questions, fast-track loyal members through hiring processes, create policies that benefit the organization, handle complaints and investigation in a way that protects the network, conceal elements of individuals that they consider for hiring that they wouldn't conceal for others, therefore effectively stacking the institution with like-minded and loyal individuals. This isn't conspiracy theory, it's just a smart organizational strategy. It's happening in hospitals, schools, courts, police departments, and government agencies across the country. A lot of this is even done in the open. The bureaucratic web. Once you have people in HR, you can place them in other key positions, medical facilities, control access to healthcare, prescription medications, schools, influence what children learn, identify vulnerable families, courts, affect legal outcomes, child custody decisions, suppress cases that are inconvenient or incriminate the control group, law enforcement, determine which crimes get investigated, and use the law enforcement as a tool for intimidation, social services, control who gets help and who gets punished, decide where the kids go, family disputes. Each placement reinforces the others. A family fighting for custody needs the support of social services, but social services refers them to a lawyer who's part of the network, who recommends a therapist who's part of the network, whose evaluation gets reviewed by a judge, who's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And whenever there is an instance of disloyalty or dissent, inconvenience, or something like this, there is a concerted effort by one or all of those individuals to obstruct, discredit, or disappear. Then part 4 would be the path to liberation. Here's what they don't want you to know. These systems only work when people don't understand how they work. Once you see the pattern, once you understand the psychology, the power begins to diminish. Document everything that you can once you realize you're in one of these situations. Start keeping records, not because you're paranoid, but because patterns become clear when you write them down. Financial transactions and business relationships. Who recommends whom for what services? Which institutions consistently produce the same outcomes, whether negative or positive? How information flows through your community. Build interdependent networks. The antidote to enforced dependency is genuine independence. This means economic diversification, multiple income streams. I think I want to shut this off further earlier, breaking this cycle. All right, here we go. I'm going to edit this. Yes. Every single day you have choices, small ones mostly, where to shop, who to listen to, what to believe, how to treat other people. These choices seem insignificant, but they're not. Every time you choose independence over dependency, truth over comfortable lies, authentic relationships over transactional ones, you're weakening the control systems that keep people trapped. The path forward isn't about destroying the people who run these systems. Many of them are victims themselves, trapped by the same mechanisms they used to trap others. The path forward is about building something better, creating communities based on genuine mutual cooperation instead of exploitation. Economic systems that create value rather than extracting it. information networks that form better communities and more intelligent individuals instead of manipulating. You have more power than you know. The fact that these control systems exist proves how much they fear what happens when people start thinking for themselves. You can start right now. In this town, just document what you see. There's such a pervasive influence here. These chains that are holding a lot of people back in town, they are invisible. Visible chains can be broken by walking away. Now, a lot more of you don't want to be part of this any more than you realize. It's more possible to just walk away than you realize. Just stop listening to these noxious influences. I know some people are in impossible situations in this town. And I don't know, but I know a lot of people know they're getting a raw deal and are sick of participating in it. So, if you know someone this might resonate with, or if it resonates with you, well, if it resonates with you, definitely share it with someone else. But the most powerful thing you can do is help other people see the patterns that have been hidden from them. Ignorance is a tool that's being exploited to oppress people, and ultimately to shift public money into private hands. So, and to accumulate power and influence through extortion, influence, control, money, all these different things. I guess all this will loop back together as I continue to produce these. But ultimately, the core point is that cooperation is superior to control. And we're at a point where things will change. The question is, how much do they need to before we start getting rational and reasonable management, government, and action from authorities, especially locally. Because my whole thing is not meant to be consumed with some local petty bullshit. So, the sooner I don't have to deal with this local petty bullshit, the better. Simple things. Very simple things. Stop harassing me and the people that I've expressed that I care about. And we'll go from there.